Tonight on CTV News at 6, sensitive information.
Be vigilant when you get an email or a request to change payment information.
Police in Timmins are warning businesses of a fraud scheme. Sudden passing.
I'm struggling day by day. Just wishing this was just a blur, but we know it's not.
A family in Sault Ste. Marie is seeking justice. Plus hockey sticks and helmets.
It's something new. We never had this before, and it's good that we're hosting it so we can have fun.
We take you to a friendly hockey tournament in Sturgeon Falls.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Thursday. Police in Timmins are investigating a weapons-related incident that sent one person to hospital. Police were called to the Laidlaw Street area today after reports of an altercation involving a weapon. One person was found in a home with a severe injury to the leg and was taken to hospital. Police are asking anyone with information to contact them or Crime Stoppers. Police in North Bay continue to investigate two suspicious deaths in the community. Officers were called to a residence on Highway 11 North on Monday around 8 p.m. One person was found dead, launching an investigation by police and the coroner's office. Police say this suspicious death is not related to any other active cases, including the missing persons case. They have identified the person who died, but will not be releasing their name or personal information to protect the family's privacy. There are no new details on the suspicious death on Mulligan Street. Tomorrow was supposed to be a joyous day for a family of a young man. He was killed last fall while behind bars in Sault Ste. Marie. Instead of celebrating, his family is seeking answers and justice. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
Here at the Algoma Treatment and Remand Center, 25-year-old Nathan Pregent Doe took his final breath after being attacked by a fellow inmate.
I'm struggling day by day. Just wishing this was just a blur, but we know it's not.
His family says Nathan was a fun, happy guy who lit up each room he entered. While they cling to happy memories, they worry about his now 9-year-old son.
He's a sad little boy right now because he doesn't know how to handle his father being gone. He just wants his father there.
He's never going to truly know his father. He's only going to have those glimpses, and it's never going to be the same as actually having that person.
Nathan was in jail on minor drug charges and just a day away from a bail hearing when he had an altercation with Eric Miro, a man previously found guilty of a 2011 killing and dismemberment. His relatives say he planned on turning his life around, but now he won't get that chance.
Why was he alone? Why was Eric Miro near my son? He shouldn't have been in the same area at all.
Now the family is taking legal action against the accused, the remand center, government, and 6 staff entrusted with his care at the jail. The family is yet to hear back from any of the defendants. The Ministry of the Solicitor General replied to an inquiry from CTV News, only stating that the ministry cannot provide details on ongoing legal proceedings.
Our plan is to have discovery in the fall. That's certainly going to be our timeline. And that's probably one of the most important elements of the lawsuit because that's where you get answers.
A statement of claim filed last week outlines that the family is seeking $4 million in damages. In speaking with them, what they view as most important is finding out what happened that allowed Nathan's life to be taken in hopes that something like this is never repeated.
The amount of pain and grief that it brings on a day-to-day basis is definitely hard. It's not a situation we can fix, but we can try and bring light and justice to it.
Losing family is the worst thing ever, and I hope this doesn't happen to anybody else.
Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Crime figures have increased in Wikwemikong unceded territory on Manitoulin Island. However, police say the spike in numbers is actually a sign of progress. CTV's Amanda Hicks breaks things down for us.
The Wikwemikong Tribal Police Service has been busy. According to recent data, the number of individuals charged jumped in just 1 year.
Our people charged by police in comparison to 24 to 2025 has gone up 40%. Over the last 10 years, we've seen a 56% rise in individuals charged.
Police say the spike is a sign of more policing. It's a part of the service's new 3-year strategic plan, which shifts officers from reactive responses to proactive enforcement. Since intensifying their community drug strategy, arrests for trafficking have skyrocketed by over 300%.
A lot of those individuals that we arrested were not residents, nor were they citizens of the Wikwemikong unceded territory. They were from the Greater Toronto Region, Sudbury, Nipissing, York Region, Niagara Region, just to name a few. So the drugs are coming in from predominantly the Greater Toronto Region, high quality, and then they're being distributed here.
But it's not all increases. The data shows a decrease in youth crime, with arrests for both teenage boys and girls seeing a drop since 2024.
We're doing the same things as far as applying the law, but it's the programs and initiatives that we're doing within the community, I believe, that's having a great impact upon both.
GDX says a goal of the plan isn't just higher arrest numbers, but a permanent shift towards long-term safety. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Special Investigations Unit has cleared police in a fatal shooting in a courtroom last summer. A 23-year-old man was shot and killed last July in Wapakeka First Nation near the Manitoba border. The SIU report says the man was wielding a knife as he approached the judge when he was shot. According to the report, an OPP officer ordered him to stop and threw a garbage can at him to try to stop the man before the officer shot him. You can read more about this and all of our stories on our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca. Stiller Gold, a Canadian gold development company, announced today it's the first to receive a permit from the province to remediate historic mine tailings. Stiller Gold says preliminary work on its Hollinger Tailings project in Timmins is now underway. The company plans to begin removing tailings to mill them in 2027. Officials tell CTV News this is an opportunity to take responsibility for the past while creating value for the future. They say an area of 450 acres that's been left for decades will finally be cleaned up. The land can be used for other purposes in the future, and with the price of gold reaching historic highs, the project is a winning one for the company and all its partners.
It's economically viable for a lot of companies to look at the potential reprocessing of tailings. And so that's exactly what we have been doing over the last year, is to characterize the tailings, understand the gold content, also to do environmental work as required for the permitting. But there are several companies who are looking into the reprocessing of tailings, and this isn't just limited to Ontario, but it is relatively new with this new recovery of minerals framework.
The province says the new framework cuts red tape and turns legacy mine sites into engines of economic growth and stewardship. Let's shift gears now. Plenty of sunshine on this Thursday, and it's a welcome sight. To tell us more about what we can expect from Friday into the weekend, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
We've got some precipitation tomorrow, Tony. 5 centimeters in Greater Sudbury. Of course, I did say 60% chance of flurries last night, but that's changed according to Environment Canada. Our systems map, you can see the system moving right through. And also with that sunshine today, a lot of potholes, some craters on the road. We may have to change it to Crater Sudbury very shortly, unless those potholes and craters get fixed up by road crews type thing. But yes, with the sunshine, make it a point to drive carefully. But there are some major potholes out there. Details on your current temperatures coming up, Tony.
Thanks, Rick. Is it a tipping point? Still to come on CTV News at 6. Midwives in Ontario are seeking better compensation. First, though, we're heading to downtown Timmins. This live webcam is courtesy of the City of Timmins. It's minus 8 degrees. We're back in a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
The association that advocates for midwives across the province wants a change in compensation. It says midwives are leaving the profession due to burnout and attrition. CTV's Angela Gemmell has more.
Midwives provide prenatal care as well as care during labor, delivery, and 6 weeks after a birth. But labor is unpredictable, so they're also regularly on call.
We don't get paid vacation. We don't get established time off. You're negotiating with another partner or another team member to cover your caseload.
Midwives have lost income over the past 5 years due to the 1% public sector salary cap. Now the Association of Ontario Midwives, or OAM, is negotiating with the provincial government to compensate midwives for that 3-year gap in line with other health professionals.
When everybody's willing to come to the table and have a conversation to treat the profession the same as they have treated physicians, nurses, and firefighters, that respect, I think, is essential as well.
In an email to CTV News, the Ministry of Health calls the government a strong partner to Ontario midwives, investing an additional $40 million over the last 2 years to increase compensation, and adding the AOM's current demands are well beyond recently negotiated outcomes for other primary care providers. But the association now has a report from an independent third-party mediator recommending the compensation ask. That report says the loss of income has led to a recruitment and retention crisis in the midwifery profession, including burnout and attrition, where midwives are leaving Ontario for better paying provinces. It translates to fewer midwives, particularly in Northern Ontario after the program was shuttered at Laurentian University.
We do not have a northern site for midwifery education, which is certainly having an impact. We're providing student placements for Southern midwives, but they're returning to other locations.
When it comes to stats, there are 1,050 midwives working in 250 communities across Ontario. And Fulton Breathitt says each year, 6,000 pregnant women seek out a midwife, but only 30% actually receive services from one. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli announced more than $450,000 in funding to extend CT scan hours at North Bay Regional Health Centre. By extending hours, the hospital will be able to reduce patient wait times and increase diagnostic services. Hospital President and CEO Paul Heinrich said in a news release the funding will support better health care. Wear Red Canada is asking people to wear the color tomorrow. CTV's Madison Merrier tells us why.
Health partners around the city are collaborating to help inform Sudburyans on innovation in healthcare, research, and knowledge.
So we just launched our newest series. It's called Northern Health Horizons, Stories, Science, Solutions. And it's all about bringing people together and sharing health information, research, stories, things that connect to everyday life.
The first free event in the 3-part series is Wear Red Canada, Her Heart Matters, where attendees will learn CPR and feel heart health empowerment.
We are really just trying to create a free community event for community members to learn about their heart as well as their loved ones' hearts, learn about the risks, the signs, and the symptoms specific to women's heart health. And this is super important to a community like Sudbury, Ontario, especially being, in the north. It's important that, we have the same knowledge as people do elsewhere in Ontario as well as Canada.
Science is about people. Science is about engagement and people being able to engage with scientists. And that's what Science North is all about. Science communication, science engagement, and what better platform is there to be able to do this?
The National Wear Red campaign says 1 out of 3 women are affected by cardiovascular disease, but women are understudied, undertreated, and underaware.
One of the barriers of access to this is our finances. So, through establishing a connection with the Northern Horizons here at Science North, with the Med Talks and Catalyst event, we're able to offer subsidized costs and free of cost to our participants that are coming.
Organizers hope all who attend wear red to show unity in learning of women's healthcare, as well as the leading cause of premature death in Canadian women. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Most Canadians say they intend to support local businesses with their Valentine's Day purchases this year. That's according to a recent poll by CIBC. CTV's Lindsay Aylett tells us more.
From flowers. This year, guys have been pretty good with pre-ordering compared to even last year. So even now we're at a point where we've matched our pre-orders with our sales last year. To chocolate.
Valentine's is always a big hit, and Saturday there'll be nothing left, which is good. That's the way I like it. We make everything in-house and small batch.
The CIBC poll shows 80% of Canadians intend to support local, with younger Canadians age 18 to 34 being the biggest spenders, with plans to shell out an average $224.
It's very important for people to be shopping local as possible. It can make or break somebody in one season alone.
Especially with how the economy is going and how the world is at right now, I definitely notice an influx in people coming in just to see the store or grab a little something just to show their support.
Most Northerners I talk to say whatever their plans may be, they will be supporting local as part of that.
It includes dinner out and chocolate-covered strawberries.
Oh, and do you buy those local?
I do. Actually, I bought them in Chelmsford from a girl called Treats by Kim.
I like to have chocolates and flowers and get together and have a nice meal and spread the love.
It looks like having grandchildren over for the evening and for a sleepover, so that the parents can go out for Valentine's.
With inflation putting pressure on budgets, only 12% of Canadians say they plan to spend more this year on Valentine's Day. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
All right, back now for a check on your current conditions with Rick.
Okay, here we go, Tony. Some precipitation in the forecast for tomorrow. Greater Sudbury, about 5 centimeters, our forecast radar. You can see the system moving in. Some areas will get 2, other areas will get 2 to 4 centimeters, but at least in Sudbury, 5 for tomorrow. Current temperatures this hour: Moosonee -7, Cochrane -8, Timmins -9. It's either clear or few clouds in the forecast across the northeast. -7 in Kapuskasing. Chapleau -6, Wawa -7, some light snow there. -6 in the Sioux. How about Perry Sound? A few clouds, -6. North Bay -10, a few clouds. Temiskaming Shores, few clouds as well, mainly clear skies. -8 in Kirkland Lake. Greater Sudbury -8, Espanola -7, Elliott Lake -7, and Gore Bay -9. So temperatures not too bad this evening. Sorry about tomorrow, though, about the flurries and the snow, but we'll get through that. Things start to really perk up well by Sunday. Some warmer temperatures and better conditions. Tony, back to you.
Thanks, Rick. We have strict gun laws in Canada. Still to come on CTV News at 6. How were firearms allowed back into the shooter's home in British Columbia? And scam artists are targeting business owners in the city of Timmins. The police investigation continues into BC's Tumbler Ridge shooter, whose identity was revealed as 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar. A former RCMP deputy commissioner says law enforcement agents are working to determine the motive behind the mass shooting.
It's going to be a broader investigation in terms of the criminal justice system generally, mental health supports, and the history of the perpetrator here. So right now the RCMP are collecting evidence. They're doing everything that you would at a normal crime scene. This is hardly normal, admittedly, but that is what they're dealing with. And as the deputy commissioner mentioned yesterday, they want to make sure that there were no other parties to the offense, that no one else contributed in any way.
He says that police will work to determine if another party was involved and the origin of the guns that were reportedly removed from the perpetrator. Once that investigation has concluded, the case will turn over to the coroner to confirm the cause of the fatalities in the shooting. Meanwhile, the community of Tumbler Ridge is in mourning. A memorial of flowers, photographs, and stuffed animals grows as the community continues to grapple with the mass shooting. The community's MLA, Larry Neufeld, says residents are feeling numb today as they have yet to fully process the mass shooting, but should continue to lean on each other. He also says one of his main priorities in the shooting's aftermath is to ensure that everyone in the community has access to the necessary supports. And this was the scene outside Espanola Town Hall last night after the Prime Minister announced federal buildings would be lowering their flags to half-mast. Espanola posted to social media that it would be following suit. The Near North District School Board has also ordered its flags to be lowered in honor of the victims. Police are saying they may never have a motive as questions are being asked about the 18-year-old shooter and the 2 firearms recovered at the school. Her gun license had been revoked, but a petition by the family was approved and the weapons were returned. CTV's Judy Tran reports.
This is the home of the shooter, Jesse Van Rutselaar, and the starting point of the killing spree. The 18-year-old killed her mother, Jennifer Jacobs, and a younger brother. The RCMP say they were called to the house multiple times.
We have a history of police attendance at the family residence. Some of those calls were related to mental health issues.
Very few people living in rural communities appreciate the extent to which having guns in the home with the mentally ill youth is a risk.
At the second crime scene, police say they recovered a long gun and a modified handgun from the school. On Facebook, Strang posted this photo of 6 long guns in 2024. She wrote, "It's time to take them out for target practice." Police say they had previously seized the firearms, but later returned them to the owner.
I can say that at a later point in time, the lawful owner of those firearms petitioned for those firearms to be returned.
In cases where mental health issues arise, police can seize firearms and seek a court order preventing gun possession in the name of public safety.
The question is, why was the prohibition application, which was begun by the seizure, why was that not followed through on?
To get the guns returned, Strang would have had to go to court. Police have not said why they gave back the guns.
This should be information that is readily available to the public, and it should be information that we can look at, because it's only with sort of that information can we see if mistakes were made.
The RCMP say they're continuing to investigate these questions. Meanwhile, statistics show that there is a higher rate of violent crime involving guns in rural communities than in cities. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
6 Republicans defied the White House, joining Democrats in voting against Trump's tariffs on Canada.
The joint resolution is passed.
The House voted 219 to 211 in favor of the resolution aimed at terminating the fentanyl emergency that Trump invoked last year before imposing tariffs on Canadian imports. The measure is largely symbolic and could ultimately be vetoed by the president. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Okay, Tony, we're heading into the weekend and we've got some precipitation in the form of snow for tomorrow, some flurry activity. Let's check out our forecast radar. This system approaching the northeast should be relatively clear overnight, later on this evening, but tomorrow we'll take a look at the numbers momentarily, but we do have some snow in the forecast. Things will get better though by Sunday, some warmer temperatures. So overnight, take a look at these wind chills that we've got going on in Greater Sudbury -25, Sault Ste. Marie -20, Timmins -24, Temiskaming Shores -26, and -22 in North Bay. So you can see temperatures are not really that bad, but you've got the wind chill in effect in most communities. Moosonee -20 in Caphurst. Light snow in Wawa, by the way. Gore Bay -24 and -24 in Parry Sound. Those are the wind chills. Now let's take a look at your 7-day report card. As my teacher used to say, here is your report card, and the numbers don't lie. Sudbury Nickel Belt, 5 centimeters of snow, -5 for tomorrow. Saturday, sun and cloud, -2. Now the chance of flurries on Sunday and Monday, but take a look at the warming temperatures. You've got -1 on Sunday, 0 Monday, 0 Tuesday, cloud cover, and Wednesday, a little bit of a cool down, periods of snow at -1, well off the normal for this time of the year. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, snow tomorrow, 2 to 4 centimeters at 0. 0 again Saturday, some sun and cloud. Chance of flurries for a couple of days, +1, +2, +2 again on Tuesday, some cloud cover, and dropping down to -1 with the periods of snow come Wednesday. So not a bad forecast for the snow and Algoma right now. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Snow tomorrow, -2, -4 Saturday, some sun and cloud. Chance of flurries Sunday and Monday, 30% and 40%, but it's warming up by Monday. 0, -2 Tuesday, -5 Wednesday. Chance of flurries. Normally, you're sitting at -7. How about Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake? Snow tomorrow, 2 to 4 centimeters, -4. -4 again on Saturday, some sun and cloud. Sunday, chance of flurries at -2. 0 Monday, Family Day, of course, chance of flurries. Tuesday, 0, cloud cover. Wednesday, periods of snow at -2. Then it gets a little cooler by next Thursday at this same time, which is bang on for the normal at this time of the year at -7. And one final look at North Bay, West Nipissing. 2 to 4 centimeters of snow, -5, -3 Saturday. Chance of flurries on Sunday and Monday. -1, +1, and +2 Tuesday. Some cloud cover, that low pressure system coming into the area by Sunday, and again continuing Wednesday with the periods of snow. So again, the forecast is pretty simple for the course of the next couple of days. A little bit of snow tomorrow, some sun and cloud on Saturday. Sunday we start with the flurries. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, cloud cover as well, but warmer temperatures as that low pressure system really has an effect on the Northeast. So really, any complaints at this time? We'll have to deal with them maybe by Monday. Let's take a look at our pick of the day. It's actually a little video going on. Devin Arthur sent this in. A couple of moose were snacking on salt on vehicles in Valtaraise, part of Greater Sudbury. So, hey, it was late at night, and he managed to get this on his Nest Cam. So again, they're out for a friendly stroll in the community. So if you see moose on the street and they're licking your car, it's not a bad thing, I guess, at this time of the year. They love the salt, really, when you come to think about it. Hey, stick around. We've got more coming up with Tony right after the break. Enjoy the moose.
Welcome back. You're watching CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. Pet adoption scams hit an all-time high during the pandemic when many people were stuck inside and looking for companionship. But even now, scammers are online collecting money for animals, and once they do, the pet never shows up. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
Soshi Palacios of Toronto wanted her daughter Xiomara to have a cat, and due to allergies, they decided to get a Balinese kitten.
The whole purpose of this kitten was to provide some emotional support to my daughter, who's 8 years old, and she does have cerebral palsy. She uses a wheelchair.
They found a kitten on Instagram. The breeder said the selling price was $2,500. When the family said that was too much for their budget, the seller agreed to lower the amount to $1,000.
I replied back, excited and happy, letting her know that I appreciated the adjustment that was made.
They were asked to e-transfer $1,000 in advance, but after they did that, they were told to send another $300 for veterinary fees. They said they'd pay it when they picked up the kitten. That's when all communication stopped.
At this point, we got highly suspicious. There was no more email responses, and then they blocked me on Instagram.
After she was blocked, Palacios realized it was a scam, and she was out her $1,000.
We have no kitten. The funds have been taken.
If they're making excuses not to meet, that would be a red flag. Obviously, you want to engage with the person, you want to meet the animal.
The Toronto Humane Society says scammers operating online sometimes use stock images or stolen photos of pets. Before making a deposit, you'll want proof the pet is real.
Is it a live photo? Is there a way to do a video call? Is there a way to get a video? Just to sort of verify that this is a living, actual being.
Scammers may ask for money in advance, then tack on extra fees for insurance, shipping crates, or vaccines. You should be cautious if they won't meet in person, and all correspondence is online. For Palacios, it's been heartbreaking. She wanted her daughter to have a furry companion.
I kind of wanted the kitten to be a little friend that she would have when she came home.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
The Timmins Police Service says over the past 6 months, multiple complaints have come in from local businesses being scammed. Police say one of the biggest red flags to watch for is an email from a supplier or contractor saying they've changed their method of payment. Once a victim makes the changes the fraudster is requesting, money is then funneled to the scammer's account. Timmins police say some local businesses have been defrauded out of several thousands of dollars and only find out when they're asked why they haven't paid their bills.
Be vigilant when you get an email or a request to change payment information. Contact the company directly using the number that you're familiar with. and ask to verify that they are in fact changing accounts. We have seen where the fraudsters are changing the contact numbers, so when the company calls, they believe that they're speaking to a legitimate company.
Beatty says a number of investigations are ongoing and companies dealing with large financial transactions are generally being targeted. The detective sergeant adds it's a difficult process to trace the funds and get some resolution. 2 recent celebrity deaths, both related to colorectal cancer, are prompting health professionals to remind the public about screening. CTV's Pauline Chan reports.
Catherine O'Hara and James Vanderbeek had both been diagnosed with colorectal cancer before they died.
It's the 4th common cancer in Canada, and it's the 3rd leading cause of death for both men and women. So these were very famous cases, but this is happening to average people every day.
And more cases recently are being diagnosed in younger people, aged 25 to 49. Vanderbeek was just 48 when he died.
There's a lot of research around this, but nobody really knows why it's increasing in this young age group.
Jen Waterman knows the importance of early detection. She was just 42 when she was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in 2020.
When I talked about the symptoms, what I was experiencing, I really did think it was stress. Like, it was all in line. That's all I thought it was.
If colorectal cancer is caught early, by that we mean stage 1, it has not spread, the survival rates are 90%. And so we're looking at great statistics for survival. However, if it is caught at a later stage, the survival drops down significantly.
In Canada, screening is covered starting at age 50, but you may need earlier screening if you have symptoms like blood in your stools or a change in bowel habits, or if a close relative had colorectal cancer.
Meaning your mother, your father, or a sibling that has had colon cancer, you should be screened actually 10 years younger than the onset of that family member's disease.
These situations are also covered by OHIP.
I don't have any of the risk factors at all. I mean, not only being young, but there's nothing in my family.
Jen is grateful her doctor took her concerns seriously as soon as she mentioned them, and she says she owes her life to early screening. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
While the Oshawa Generals have the worst record in the OHL, still ahead on CTV News at 6, team management believes some fans stink too. We'll tell you more later in our show.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
Adnac Ski Hill in Sudbury was closed today because of a mechanical issue. According to the city, the issue was with the ski lift. The good news is the problem is now fixed and the hill is open. Fortunately, the 97 athletes who were set to compete in the Sudbury District Secondary School Athletic Association final today will all move on to the NOSA snowboarding finals in Elliott Lake next week. Results from there will determine the city's top snowboarders.
How we're going to still be able to give out the Sudbury City Championship results are based on next week's results at NOSA. We're going to be able to remove all non-Sudbury student athletes from the event per se, and then be able to give out the championship banner and medals to the racers who compete the best at NOSA for next week.
Yesterday, the Sudbury District Secondary School Athletic Association hosted the NOSA Alpine Skiing Championships at Adnac. Lockerbie Composite School and Bishop Alexander Carter took home top spots for boys and girls team events. What's more Canadian than picking up a hockey stick and shooting a few pucks or balls in the net? CTV's Eric Tashner was in Sturgeon Falls today celebrating our national sport with some very happy students.
Swapping pencils and textbooks for hockey sticks and helmets. It's hockey day in Sturgeon Falls as kids score goals and show off their love of the sport.
It's something new. We never had this before, and it was good that we're hosting it so we can have fun.
An idea to hold a school board-wide ball hockey shinny came from Jamie Pigeot, who loved playing hockey growing up, remembering his grandfather, a road hockey lover.
It's in our blood. If it's summer, we're playing road hockey. If it's winter, we're at the ODR. You're at the rink watching your kids practice. It's Canadian.
So the school closed down 3rd Street to build 2 rinks on the road and 2 more in the parking lot. with many cheering on the home team.
A lot of my classmates are on my team, so that's awesome and get to have a better bond with them.
17 teams from all of the West Nipissing school boards entered the tournament, and in between the games, everyone gathered inside the school to watch both the women's and men's Canadian teams at the Olympics.
Just watching your favorite hockey players on TV and then going to play right after.
Bringing in the community and all the schools, so this was something that was something that we really wanted to do this year, and it was perfect for our carnival week.
Peugeot would like to see the ball hockey tournament become a regular celebration of the sport. He's hoping to invite schools from nearby North Bay to lace up and participate. Since hockey is, after all, our sport and a sense of national pride.
You gotta skip school, you gotta play hockey. Just what other way to spend your day in school?
Eric Tashner, CTV News, Sturgeon Falls.
To the OHL, where we had a battle of the North last night at GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. The Greyhounds squared off against the Sudbury Wolves.
Here's a lead pass to Mignosa. Mignosa going in, and Gonchar hustles back. Greyhounds still have it, though, as Mignosa shoots and scores!
Marco Mignosa played the hero to get Sault Ste. Marie on the board after trailing 2-0, and the Greyhounds wouldn't stop there. The Hounds go on to score 3 unanswered goals, including an empty netter, to win the game 4-2. Tonight, the North Bay Battalion are on home ice looking to take advantage as they take on the Brampton Steelheads. Puck drop is 7 p.m. at Longyear Memorial Gardens. And in the NOJHL this evening, the first place Sudbury Cubs will face off against the last place French River Rapids. Game time at Countryside Arena is 7:10. Some brilliant performances by Canadians on the slopes today, adding 2 more silver medals. CTV Scott Hurst is keeping an eye on the action and has this recap.
A big day in short track speed skating. Courtney Sereau won bronze in the women's 500-meter. This is her second medal of the Games. Sereau was part of the team that won silver in the mixed relay earlier in the week. 4 Olympic Games, 4 medals for a Canadian athlete known as the King.
Very happy to win my 4th medal and 4 starts at the Olympic Games.
Opening ceremony flag bearer Mikhail Kingsbury landed back on the podium in Milano Cortina, a silver medal for the decorated Olympian. He finished with an identical score as the gold medalist, but lost the top spot through a tiebreaker.
This one I worked really hard for, and it was a tough one to get.
We will see Kingsbury again in the dual moguls event this weekend. Canada is celebrating another silver on the slopes, this time in snowboard cross. 24-year-old Elliot Grandin from Quebec also missing out on gold by the slimmest of margins.
Pretty good. I mean, it's another silver medal, so you can't really be too upset.
This is his 3rd Olympic medal and will have a chance to add to his personal total in the mixed snowboard cross team event on Sunday. On to the quarterfinals for the Canadian women's hockey team. The women beat Finland today 5-0 to close out their preliminary round with a record of 3-1. On the men's side, it was a relatively easy start to their Olympic program. The Canadian men won their opening match against Czechia 5-0. This is the first time we're seeing NHL players at the Olympic Games since Sochi 2014. The women's hockey team will begin the knockout round on Saturday. They'll face Germany in the quarterfinals. The men will be back on the ice tomorrow against Switzerland. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
A decisive win by Team Homan to open round-robin action in women's curling, stealing 7 points over the course of the match to win 10-4 over Denmark. Sudbury's Tracy Fleury plays 3rd on Team Canada. Both men's and women's curling teams take on the U.S. tomorrow morning. Thessalon's own Shiloh Russo competed in the women's 15K individual yesterday, finishing 78th. In a social media post, the biathlete said the race didn't go her way, but she can now call herself an Olympian. Rousseau will compete in the women's 7.5-kilometer sprint on Saturday. The new Heated Rivalry series has taken the streaming world by storm, and part of the love story between 2 professional hockey players was filmed at a cottage in Muskoka. CTV's Mike Lang has more on how the cottage could bring a boost to local tourism.
This is the Barlokin Cottage, known as The Cottage from the Heated Rivalry Season 1 finale, where lovers Shane and Ilya take their romance to the next level.
You're not jealous, are you? No. Ilya, I'm gay.
In the series, the cottage is in a remote location outside of Montreal, But in reality, the cottage is situated right off Lake Muskoka between Hudson's Point and Hemlock Point.
It was designed by an amazing architect, and they decided to film there. And I think something that caught everyone's attention is people didn't realize worldwide that Muskoka has these beautiful places to stay.
With 2,500 square feet, floor-to-ceiling glass walls, and wide-open lake views, the Barlokin's shift from seclusion to the spotlight has helped reinforce Muskoka as a top summer destination. Discover Muskoka highlighting it in their Come to the Cottage campaign with billboards across the GTA, offering a special chance to visit the property.
We're anticipating over 15 million impressions, and we've got a lot of great buzz. A lot of TikTokers have been sharing them, and we've heard a lot of rumblings of people seeing them.
Expected to inspire another cottage booking rush for this year.
It has spurred a lot of web traffic to our site, as far as we're seeing 25% increase in traffic from outside of Canada, as well as inside of Canada, Europe, China, etc.
In terms of actually renting the Barlokin,
the cottage is privately owned. We're hoping that it might be able to come for rent potentially, just even a little bit throughout the summer. But if people are interested in Muskoka, the good thing is we really have hundreds of cottages people can rent if they can't get their hands on that one.
Whether it becomes available for rent remains to be determined, but Muskoka Tourism says that decision will be made in the coming weeks. Mike Lang, CTV News.
This year's Super Bowl may be over, but the link between sports and entertainment has no off-season. David Daniel takes the field with the Hollywood Minute.
Chappell's got a case of the zoomies. Shishi comes in to shake things up.
Super Bowl 60 wasn't the only big game to put up big numbers on Sunday. The 22nd annual Puppy Bowl scored as well, drawing 15.3 million viewers on Animal Planet and its sister stations. That's the adoption-centered program's highest ratings in 8 years and a 20% increase over 2025. On the field, Team Fluff were the top dogs, beating Team Rough 73-69.
They call it the ABA, the American Basketball Association.
There was something fresh in the ABA.
Soul Power, the legend of the American Basketball Association, looks at the 1960s and 70s pro league that gave its rival NBA such innovations as the slam dunk contest and the three-point shot, and such stars as Julius Dr. J. Irving. The documentary premieres today on Prime Video. Slammin' and jammin' in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The parent company of Tim Hortons reported earnings today. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more.
Sales were up 7.4% at Restaurant Brands, which owns Tim Hortons, Burger King, and Popeyes. The company reported revenue for the quarter of $2.5 billion U.S. But inflation has been a drag for Restaurant Brands. The higher cost of coffee has hit Tim Hortons, and Burger King's paying 20% more for beef. As a result, the renovation of Burger King locations will slow down. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.45. West Texas Intermediate is down to 62.65. Western Canadian Select is up to 48.55. And the TSX took a deep dive today, dropping 788 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold slipped $167.39, closing the day at $49.60.96 U.S. an ounce. Silver down $9.43 to end the day at $75.05. Copper down 4 cents, and nickel slipped 23 cents, ending the day at $7.76 U.S. a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Friday weather.
We've got snow in the forecast, Tony. As we told you earlier, let's begin in Greater Sudbury. 5 centimeters -5 your high. Timmins -2 and 2 centimeters. Sault Ste. Marie 0 2 to 4 centimeters. How about North Bay? -5 and 2 to 4 centimeters. Parry Sound -3 and 2 centimeters. -4 in Temiskaming Shores, 2 to 4 centimeters. Then it gets better, Tony, on Saturday, warming up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Back to you.
Good to know. Thanks, Rick. And finally, it's not unusual for sports fans to think their team stinks, but in Oshawa, it's the other way around. CTV's Allison Hurst explains.
The Oshawa Generals junior hockey team is last in the division, but it seems fans have something else to complain about.
Oh, that was horrible.
I can't believe that people don't shower when they go to the game.
A letter was sent to Gens Nation on Tuesday saying, in part, we kindly ask for your cooperation with a few simple hygiene practices. And among other requests was one that if you went to the gym or did something that produced body odor, please shower before attending the game. In Lisa Morin's 43 years as a season ticket holder, she's never gotten a letter like it.
People need to be clean when they go to the game. They did what they had to do.
CTV News reached out to the Oshawa Generals but did not hear back. The letter came from Jason Hickman, Director of Ticket Sales and Service. He told DurhamRegion.com in a phone interview, I got a lot of people complaining about the person next to them smelling like cat pee, bad breath, this and that, and everything else.
I appreciate it, right? Because I'm not going to mention it to someone that's beside me that they stink. I'd feel rude, right? So I'm glad they're taking the initiative.
Many, though, are baffled a team even had to make this request.
I think everyone should wear their deodorant, but I think it's a little crazy.
It's a little weird, I guess. A little surprising that the sports team would say that.
I'd be pretty confused if I got a letter telling me to take a shower before I went to a game, honestly.
Late this afternoon, the team posted an apology to social media saying, hey, Gens Nation, we took a penalty on that last one. It's not our place to overstep like we did. We are sorry, and hopefully we can wash this one off. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. Thanks for watching. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.